Hey friends, welcome to Essentially Jessi. Today we're going to talk about my top 10 fall fragrances that men love. So let's get to it. Okay, today we're going to talk about my top 10 favorite fall fragrances that men love. So these are fragrances that I love most of them, but these are repeated compliment getters. When you walk in the room, people want to know what you're wearing. When I'm standing in line at Target, people want to know what I'm wearing, usually men. So it's just really interesting how men and women like different things, and these are not necessarily my top favorite 10 fall fragrances. These are fragrances that I've received compliments on. They're fragrances that men in particular have commented me on. They're also, I like to have fragrance battles. If I'm going somewhere like to some kind of outdoor gathering or something, and I know there will be several people there, then I'll spray one fragrance on one hand and another fragrance on another hand and just go, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Like, I wanna know. That's just my personality. And I always wanna know, it's just interesting to see which ones the women pick over which ones the men pick, because they're not always the same. So let's hop into this list. First up, I have a fragrance that I don't even know if I've shared on my channel yet. This is Initio Parfums, and this is Side Effect. So this is really bold. This is Beast Mode. This is so good. This is a unisex fragrance. This is not something that I can pick up locally. The Initio Parfums are from Italy. They're actually the same, owned by the same parent company as Parfums de Marly. And I just love this house. This comes from the same fragrance house as the Oud for Greatness and Rehab. They have Psychedelic Love. They've got several of them. I blind bought this fragrance and I am so glad I did. I have seen reviews on it. This is boozy. It is really sweet, but not overly sweet, as long as you don't overspray it. This is a beast mode performer. This is going to be perfect walking into fall and winter, as long as you don't overspray indoors. Overspray the heck out of it outdoors. If you're going to a bonfire, a hayride, anything that's outdoorsy, this is the perfect fragrance for that. Fire pit time, outdoor movies. I love Side Effect. It is unisex. I would personally think that it leans more feminine. I don't know how I feel about smelling that on a man, but I mean, I might like it. I don't know. So I think it's unisex. I think it leans a little more feminine, but it is pretty beast mode. This is not floral. This is not fruity. This is a very sweet, boozy fragrance that is beast mode. Next up, I have another unisex fragrance that is so good. This is Macera's Oud Vanille. It smells like burnt sugar, but in the best way ever. And oud, and it is beautiful. I get lots of compliments on this Oud Vanille by Macera. It is a beautiful fragrance. It is a unisex fragrance. I know several men that wear this fragrance and love it. It is just really great fragrance. It is sweet. So if you're a man and you like fresh, clean scents, this is not one for you. If you're a woman who likes really floral scents, this is not one for you. This really is like caramelized sugar and oud in the nicest way possible. This is also a beast mode fragrance, so be careful in the trigger with this if you wear it to work. I would say maybe 2 sprays max if you're wearing it into the office, but for a date or anything outside, this is a go-getter. It is so good and men love it. Next up, I have a designer fragrance. This is one of my first fragrance purchases. I've probably had this for 2 or 3 years. You can tell it's beast mode. This is Red Berries. This is La Nuit Tresor by Lancome. This is a little bit, it's like floral, red berry, definitely gourmand. I received the larger bottle. I think my husband got this for me. If you are going out late night with friends, this is a great fragrance. If you're wearing this to the office, it is a red raspberry. It is nice. I love the packaging. It's so cute. I would say 2 sprays max. This is a little bit fresh, like it has a little freshness to it, so I can see this being daytime sometimes. I only wear this at night. That's just my personal preference. But La Nuit Tresor by Lancome is definitely a compliment monster when it comes to men. Next up, we have one of the Mugler fragrances. This is Alien. So I just have to spray this. So it's white florals, it's jasmine. I think about everyone knows this fragrance by now. It is a white floral. It is beautiful. I like the packaging. The bottle does stand up on its own. I mean, it's called Alien. I don't really get the alien part of it because it is a really stout white floral. Men love this fragrance. I'm not super crazy about white florals, so this isn't my go-to fragrance. This is definitely signature scent worthy. I can see wearing this to the office, on a date. It is overpowering, so if you're wearing it to the office, be careful. Probably most of the fragrances on this list are going to be stout. Let's be honest. So while as women we are noticed for the clothes that we wear, how we fix our hair, our makeup, we're also noticed for the way we smell, and we want that to be attractive as well. So if you're into white florals, and he is too, then Alien is a must. And honestly, if you're into white florals, it's a blind buy worthy. If you like florals, this is a great gift, I would think, for your mom or a friend or any female. It is so white floral though, so you really need to like your white florals. The jasmine, it's really good. It's just not what I typically gravitate towards, but men do really enjoy this fragrance. Next up, we have Viktor and Rolf's Flowerbomb Nectar. So this is a flower bomb, but with honey. I'm gonna have to smell it. So the atomizer is like that. It's really nice. It's just not as floral. So obviously the name Flowerbomb, the original Flowerbomb, is a flower overload. This nectar includes honey, and it kind of is a good blend between gourmand and floral. It is very sweet. This is probably a safe blind buy. This is pretty stout, so go easy on the trigger for daytime, especially if you're in close quarters, like in cubicles at the office or anything like that. But this is a great date night scent. Men love this fragrance. It's sweet, it's floral, it's just so attractive because it is so crowd pleasing that I think anyone could really pull this off. I think that this could be a signature scent too, but I just know whenever I wear this, I get tons of compliments. Men love it. Men just typically enjoy women in sweeter fragrances, and this one is definitely sweet. Now, if you have a more sophisticated nose, maybe is the way to say that, Straight to Heaven by Kilian is gorgeous. This will get you noticed. This will get you compliments. Even if the person doesn't like the fragrance or it's not their favorite, they're gonna stop you and ask you what you're wearing, because this fragrance is really different, especially on a woman. It is a unisex fragrance, but it is so good. I love this fragrance, and I've had lots of people stop me and say, I love what you're wearing, but what is it? They just can't place it because it does smell so different. It's a little bit smoky, and not like smoky in a bad way, smoky in a good way. I don't know how to describe that. There are some spices in here. It is a beautiful fragrance. This is definitely unisex. This probably leans more masculine, but I still get stopped and asked, what are you wearing when I wear this fragrance? Next up is Coco Mademoiselle Intense. I can't believe that I bought the big bottle of this because I have used this quite a bit, and you can hardly tell because it is intense. The fragrance here is so good. This is probably my favorite Chanel fragrance. It's so iconic. It is so long lasting. It gets tons of compliments. Anytime I compare almost any fragrance with Coco Mademoiselle Intense to whatever else I have on my other hand, this one wins from men most of the time, which I think is really interesting because this has some interesting notes in it. Let me look them up. So this fragrance actually has a pretty good dose of patchouli in it. And I don't get it. Men typically like really sweet, almost candied gourmand fragrances in most cases, or floral fragrances. This is sweet, but it's got patchouli in it. I mean, it does. This is a beast. This performs. If you want if you wanted to try this, but you had never smelled it before, I would say go for the original Coco Mademoiselle. Don't go for the Intense, because it is amped up. It is bold. It is making a statement. But if you're wearing a suit to work every day, this is your go-to. If you're going out with the girls, this is your go-to. This is also an everyday, all occasion fragrance. This would be great for a wedding. You just have to go easy on the trigger because it is pretty powerful. The sillage is pretty huge and massive. This just really projects if you're in close quarters. Okay, so the website describes this, a new facet from the Coco Mademoiselle personality, amplified by an extreme dose of patchouli and an amber accord that combines tonka bean and vanilla from Madagascar. This is a powerful, deep, irresistible composition. I would say that that is true. For a sweet floral fragrance, this is a powerhouse. So while the Mugler's Alien is a white floral, it isn't as sweet. This is sweet, but it also has that patchouli, so it's almost like salty and savory or something like that going on. There's just a couple of things going on. This is probably a more mature scent. I mean, I could see a teenager wearing this, but I really would say maybe 25 and up, maybe somebody that's working, a young professional. This is a beautiful fragrance, and I love the Coco packaging. It's great. But it's gonna take me forever to go through this bottle, so probably buy the smaller one. And if you like Chanel, I would say this is definitely a safe blind buy. If you don't necessarily love all of the Chanels, then I would probably go in and try this out before you buy it. This is a conversation piece. This is Maison Margiela's By the Fireplace. This is a fragrance by Replica. These are made to be unisex, and they're made to remind you of something. There's one called Jazz Club, and there's one called something about a spring something or other. So they're all meant to reflect a time and a place, and this one reflects By the Fireplace. So this really is a conversation starter. This fragrance is warm, nutty, vanilla. It really is very unisex, and if you wanted to make it more feminine, you could always layer it with something like Kayali's Vanilla, something sweeter, more vanillic. This definitely has vanilla in it. I like the travel spray. I think I am getting a full bottle of this, but something about this smells just like a fireplace. Like if you were drinking a vanilla latte by the fireplace, this is what that would smell like. It's delicious. It's so appropriate for men and women. I think that this is appropriate daytime and nighttime, probably leaning more nighttime. But if you wear this, people will stop you and ask you, what are you wearing? And then it's just crazy. It's just crazy how much I love this fragrance. I've actually really savored it and saved it for fall this year, but I think I am picking up a full bottle during a sale or something. It's just a very unique fragrance. It really smells like vanilla by a fireplace. I can't describe it any better. It is a beautiful, unique fragrance, and if you don't have anything like this in your collection, you can get this little travel size. Want to say this runs about $20 to $30, and try it out, wear it. But whenever I first came across this fragrance, I went in Sephora, and I don't know if this was last fall or the fall before that, but I've just savored this too much. And like my friend says, if you have a good candle, burn it, don't waste it. So I go in Sephora and I said, I'm looking for a new perfume. I think this was last fall. And they said, oh my goodness, you have to try By the Fireplace by Replica. And I said, okay. At that point in time, I had never even heard of Replica fragrances. And I picked up the travel size that day because I wasn't ready to commit to a full bottle. But yes, every time, and oh, I could smell it on them. Once I smelled it, I could smell it on them. They were all wearing it, and they were like, we're just so excited about this fragrance. And I thought, it's called By the Fireplace. That's very odd, but it is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Next up, I could not leave this out of this list because of all the compliments that I get on it. This is Absolutio by Navitus Parfums. It is beautiful, it is sweet, it is unisex, but it is so sweet that men really do like it. I've just got to find a spot for it. Oh, red berries, This is just so good. It's so good for fall, but it is so good for getting compliments. Men really love this fragrance. I get a lot of compliments on it whenever I wear it for men, and it is a beautiful bottle. It is well worth the price. It is long lasting. The sillage is not crazy, so you're not gonna blow people away with it, but people will be able to smell you. So I think this is a great pick for my top 10 fragrances that men love. Lastly, I have one that I just couldn't leave off this list because I do get tons of compliments from men and women whenever I wear this fragrance. This is Prada Candy Night. I have put a pretty good sized dent in this. This is so good. So where the original Prada candy smells really like a caramel overdose, this has got some chocolate in it. Might be even a little powdery, I don't know. But I love wearing this fragrance. There's something about it that's a little bit fresh too. So this, even though it's called Prada Candy Night, I feel totally confident wearing this during the day, night, weekend, whatever, wherever I'm going. This is a great all-around fragrance. It does have some chocolate cacao in there that really deepens up the original candy. I feel like the DNA is different enough that if you like candy, you're probably going to like this, but you might want to go smell it. This is great for daytime, nighttime. I've worn this anytime. Weekends, during the week, to work. I've worn it on date night. This is a super cute bottle. I love the packaging, but I really like this and enjoy the complexity of it more than the original candy, personally. This lasts on my skin about 3 to 4 hours. The longevity isn't stellar, so I'll just throw it in my bag and take it with me and refresh whenever I need to. So ladies, what does your man like to smell on you? Men, what do you like to smell? Drop it in the comments below. I always love interacting with you guys, learning about new fragrances, learning about what you like and what you don't like. We all have different fragrance preferences. If you've been watching my channel and enjoying the fragrance content, I'd love it and appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button. Smell you later.